What?
Welcome. What's up?
What do we do?
I don't know.
That's what we
That
do.
just happened.
Welcome to the Pepper Pack Podcast, live from the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas. I am the random dude, Josh.
And I am the Dr. Pepper teacher, Zach, and I'm so excited to be here.
Oh man, this is
Potatoes.
Potatoes, exactly. So first and foremost, I want to give a couple of shout outs and thank yous. First and foremost, a shout out and huge thank you to the Dr. Pepper Museum.
You guys are
for
awesome.
their generosity, for allowing us to be able to come here, experience everything we did yesterday, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then obviously here we are at the museum. This has been absolutely phenomenal. So check them out. Their website is in the description, so definitely go check it out. Mm-hmm. Also, another shout out to Al Mega with Comic Crusaders for allowing us to use StreamYard to be able to share this with each and every one of you. So Al,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Yeah.
But I think, Zach,
Josh.
we need to do this the proper way. Glass edition. Oh. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh. Amazing.
The best part of waking up is a pepper in my cup.
So the first thing we want to talk about the particular spot that we chose. So here at the museum,
Which is amazing.
absolutely amazing.
This is both of our first times here.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, we were just blown away. Like, I've been to museums before. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, walk through stuff. And then you're like 30 minutes after you walk through, you're like, okay, I'm done. But I could walk through here over and over again all day, reading the information, seeing the things, and then the different experiences we got to do. If you have been to the museum and you haven't done the different experiences that we'll talk about later, you need to do those. Those are awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm the Dr. Pepper teacher, but I went to school yesterday. I mean,
oh yeah, our guide schooled him.
mm-hmm. Mason, thank you for making me feel like a fourth grader again. Because I kept wanting to touch and take pictures and talk, and she's like, no, don't do that. But she was very kind and generous about that. It wasn't like she was being mean to me, but.
Yeah. You know, so to talk about this particular part of the museum, as we were learning about the history of Dr. Pepper, there was that pivotal moment where technology really helped in the distribution mm-hmm. of Dr. Pepper. And we just thought, what a cool backdrop of Wilton's Landing. For this to be a part of the museum really shows the progression, not only in the production of this drink that we love mm-hmm. so much, but in the distribution as well. Mm-hmm. So it's very rustic, and mm-hmm. I love it.
Shout out to Dario real fast. I mean, I wish you could have been here too. That would have been awesome. Yeah. We appreciate you watching and all your participation this year.
Yeah. And Dario, this is for you. Cookies.
I thought it said cookies.
Yes. Man. Yes.
But speaking of that, this is even another reason why we picked this location. Because in this location, we noticed, I'm not going to display them, but there are certain competitor brands, marketing pieces up here. And I was like, why are those items here in the Dr. Pepper Museum? And like Josh said, the technology of the day, specifically we talked about like vehicles and assembly line, really made advertising more important and allowed Dr. Pepper to get their word out. So they have different advertising pieces from the other companies just to show that there was competition and why Dr. Pepper is superior than them in our advertising and just the logos they created. So another reason why we chose this, and cookies.
And cookies. So with this being, now for those of you who may have started watching later after we had already established, today is the 1 year anniversary of the launch of this podcast. And so we thought it'd be fun. Originally, Zach suggested our top 23 moments, but as I started thinking about it, it made my brain hurt. I had to drink at least 23 Dr. Peppers to try and get one thought in.
That's where they went.
Yeah.
It's okay.
At least I drank 23
This is true.
Dr. Peppers.
This is true.
So we figured it would just be easier to do top 10. So top 10, what do you think, Zach?
Are we starting number 10, right?
Yeah, let's start with number 10.
I mean, we discussed some of these, so I don't want to throw them out of order.
We didn't really decide in order.
We didn't decide order. I say cookies.
Yeah, the ongoing joke with cookies has
Makes
been
number 10.
absolutely fantastic. Let's see, number 9. Going on the Dario theme, I'd have to say number 9 would be that Zoom call. Right after everything locked down, and this idea came about.
It started, yeah. We so for those who don't know, we've talked about this before, but we started chatting and interacting on Zoom in probably April.
Yeah.
End of April, I had an idea of getting people on Zoom using my setup that I have that I used to teach, and said, hey, we can all get on chat together since we can't be physically close with COVID. And then we wanted to recreate a classic Dr. Pepper commercial. And when we all got onto that call, Josh helped birth this idea. Like, he'd mentioned he does podcasts, and I was like, dude, we need a Dr. Pepper Pack podcast. And from there, we just took off.
Here we are a year later.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk?
Not me.
Let's see.
Number 8.
Number 8. Number 8 would have to be, I would say, the Linger Longer episode.
That was really fun, going to Linger Longer. And of course, I had been there before, but just I had not got to meet the owner yet. So that was the first time I got to meet the owner and chat with her. And
that was our first live episode.
Yeah.
So that was definitely huge.
Yeah, that was in August because we did it a day late too because we did it on my birthday, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I drove up there for that. So yeah, it was a fun birthday. Took my wife up there and she got to experience it, and I think that kind of helped spur her. Okay, this Dr. Pepper thing isn't so bad.
I think both of our wives looked at us when we told them this idea of this podcast. I know my wife said, "Who would listen to a podcast about Dr. Pepper?"
A better question is,
You
who
would.
wouldn't?
You would.
And we thank you.
Let's see. Number
7. Number 7. So many things I can't choose. Because I know like our top 3.
Yeah.
For me, and I don't want to.
The top 3. Those were easy. I would say the Star Wars moment. So from the episode we had. The episode where we interviewed Michael Michelli, and we were talking about what the Sith would be drinking. And I said that the Sith would drink Dr. Pepper because it is powerful and, well, it's great. And Zach here tried to tell me.
Don't you say that word.
Tried to tell me.
I guess let me know.
He's waited a year for that. Tried to tell me that the light side was the ice and the Dr. Pepper to create balance.
It's a balance.
Well, let's just say that this is a family show, and so I will not repeat what I told him.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, was it a glorious moment.
And then you all laughed at me. So if you want to know what we said, go back and watch the episode with Michael Michelli, and you can either laugh at me or cry with me. But just drink Dr. Pepper while you do it.
Number 6.
Number 6. I'm gonna have to say the 6-foot foam finger.
Yes.
I didn't bring mine because my car was already packed with other stuff, and you flew.
Yeah, I flew, and so a 6-foot foam finger that was gifted to us from Dr. Pepper. I couldn't put it in the overhead compartment. Mm-hmm. I'd have to check that in, and that would just be.
Yeah.
I would get some looks.
I don't care. People look at me weird all the time, but it's fun.
Anywho,
All right.
number 5.
I think number 5 is probably for you. I sent you the little something.
Oh, yes. So, as you know, we are drinking Dr. Pepper Real Sugar. I had never had it before. And Zach here was very kind and sent me some. And I remember drinking that on the show for the first time.
And I'm going to give a special shout out to my students, the Brown family. Thank you, because they actually
thank you.
helped me get that. So I sent that to you.
So that was fantastic, and I've been converted ever since.
It's got like more of just a kick to it. It's sharp when you taste it, and then just.
Although I will, and we'll talk about it here shortly, but as part of the tour, we got to actually make our own drink. That Dr. Pepper. Oh,
you're talking the float, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did just the soda. You did the float.
Okay, yeah. No, I thought you were talking about the other experience we did, and so I was like, it wasn't Dr. Pepper. But okay.
Yeah, no, well, not that one. But being able to actually make Dr. Pepper with the syrup, put it in the carbonated water in.
3 squirts for soda, 2 for a float. I might have given myself 3.5 squirts on a float, but I was thirsty.
Oh,
Josh, you got to keep up, man. I'm already down 1.
shocker. But
I just thought of my
the real sugar is yum. Same with the jelly beans. I mean, all the new stuff that I've tried because of this. The baked beans.
I never sampled those.
I tried those.
You like saying that word?
Baked beans?
No, the other word. I know better. I do this to my students all day.
I consumed.
There we go.
The Dr. Pepper baked beans. So yeah, that'd be number 5.
All right, I think number 4. I just had one, but I love doing the podcast because I can drink more than 1 Dr. Pepper a day.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
We chatted with, I don't know if I shared this with you, but remember we chatted with Joel a lot. And we have actually got to hang out with him this week, which is awesome. He's been so much fun. But he talked about the different medical things going on. So he's like, I'm going to drink 1 a day just so that way I can drink and enjoy it as long as I can.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got me thinking. And I was like, you know what? That might not be such a bad idea. And it might help my wallet a little bit and give my wife some peace that I'm not taking down 18 cans a day.
Yeah.
It was only once. It's all right. But
we've consumed a lot on this show.
It happens on the podcast, stays on the podcast until someone else watches it.
Oh, good point. Very good point. Hi.
But yeah, so I've enjoyed being on the show because then I'm like, I'm always thinking about it. Okay, we're gonna record later tonight. I can drink some Dr. Pepper. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Number 3. Honestly, number 3 I would put as all the amazing guests that we've had a chance to interview on this show.
Yep, they've been fun. And it's, for those that don't know, the Pepper Pack has a closed group that we can interact and chat with each other. But when you actually can talk face-to-face electronically, since it's a pandemic and people live miles away from each other, it's just so nice to have that conversation, see their facial expressions, poke people.
I totally missed.
That was funny.
That was a whiff.
Attempt to poke people.
See what I have to put up with. Just kidding. It's fine.
See what you get to put up with.
True. Very true.
All right. So number 2.
Number 2.
You want it or do I get it?
I'll let you take this one.
Number 2 is definitely going to be our special surprise that Dr. Pepper sent us for starting the podcast. Again, this was just a random idea that we came up with. We threw it by them, make sure that we had their approval and that it was they're not even their approval, but their blessing, because we want to be ambassadors and properly represent the company. And so they said they loved the idea and to go for it. And so we started this, and then we get an email from them say, hey, Josh and Zach, Would you send us your address because we got to send you something?
We got a little something special for you. And we're just like, what is it?
And like instantly, both Josh and I, because we both have the same Twitter for the podcast, we both reply with our addresses instantly. And like, oh yeah, the beauty of having two people running the Twitter. Excuse me. And so they sent us something, and I got mine 2 days before Josh, but I waited, and it was sealed.
And it was funny because I remember Zach saying, let's wait to open it so we can open it together. Mm-hmm. And he's thinking he's going to get his before I got mine.
I was thinking Josh was going to get his first, and I was going to be sitting here waiting. And no, I got mine first, and then I had to practice patience, and I was like, oh, man, why did I do that to myself?
But yeah, to see the recognition from Dr. Pepper, getting those commemorative bottles.
With our face on them.
With our face on them.
And the logo that Connor made, which is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that was that was a cool moment.
Got me right here.
Believe it or not, there is a moment that tops that by at least 23 degrees.
You don't say.
And it's where we are right now.
America.
Planet Earth.
Milky Way.
The Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas.
And if you haven't been and you're in Waco, you're missing out. Come visit. Mm-hmm. Support them. Yeah.
So, we mentioned some of the experiences that we got to do. So let's start with the Make a Soda experience.
So the Make a Soda experience was really fun. We got to go into this little like chem lab type deal. Mm-hmm. And we were brought little jars. Mine's in the car.
Glass bottles of carbonated water.
Which you're not supposed to shake because they don't want it to blow up. But, I mean, it was very tempting. I didn't shake it.
I had to give him my dad look all the time. I'm just like.
Hey, I'm usually the teacher, and I have to, like, give everyone else that look. So this was my turn to just kind of go crazy.
I know. I was in dad mode the whole time.
Don't touch that, Zach. Put that down, Zach. Stop talking, Zach. Zach, they don't have vanilla float. Leave them alone.
But, the being able to look at the different flavors of syrups, and then you have to mix the syrup to get the right consistency. Because, again, science, density, and then you have to mix it.
Yeah, do one of these things.
I'm not opening that now.
Oh, yeah, this one was yours. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
I love this show.
But yes, that's how before assembly lines really took off, that's how they would mix. They would put bottles in their hand, and you could fit 4 bottles in a hand, and you'd have to mix the syrup with the water to get the right consistency.
I'd be like,
yeah. And so being able to do that and experience that was fun.
Yep.
And then there was the Taste of Soda experience where we got to experience what it's like to be a
soda connoisseur reviewer or something of this sort.
And so Zach and I, we went the more traditional route. We went the Dr. Pepper Keurig flavor. So
there was 8 different flavors
6.
that I thought it was 4 on top, 4 on bottom. Or was it 3 on top, 3 on bottom? We'll go 6.
6, something like that. But I mean, so we got to essentially be taste testers for Dr. Pepper cream soda. You had to look at, how is the color, the taste, the texture, and really not just drink it, but really experience it to provide feedback on the soda. Our families, they took the wild route.
So they took it's almost like the bean boozled or whatever, where you
bamboozled.
That word, America. I wait till you drink to say that. You're welcome. And they had like different flavors. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the flavors or not, but I want you to be surprised and come check them out.
Some of the flavors, when we saw it on the paper, were just like
they sounded like they were good, and my wife and Josh's wife, they enjoyed some of them, and there are other ones that were like, well, I'm glad I don't have to do that again. But I challenge you to come do it, take pictures and videos, post it, let us know what you think.
Yes. So that was fun. And then the extreme pepper experience.
Oh, like I wanted to cry. I was so excited.
That was that moment when the Dr. Pepper teacher was schooled
I was
on Dr. Pepper
I was
history.
willingly able to step down and let someone teach me things that I don't know. And I've told you guys, I don't know everything. If someone knows something that I don't, I want to hear it. But our tour guide Mason yesterday, she did a fantastic job. And again, her patience with me. We got to, if you do the Extreme Pepper experience, you get to tour the back facility and the secret collection stuff that's not on display. And we're told before we go in, you cannot take pictures, you cannot take videos. And I kept going, oh, I want to take a picture. And I would get the look, and Josh would look, we told you 83 and a half times, don't take a picture. So I couldn't take pictures. But if you're a Dr. Pepper fan, you need to come and check this out. This was, I just want to like go back and cry and walk through everything and see it again.
Yeah. This is definitely if you are committed to Dr. Pepper, if you're passionate about it, you need to come to the museum, do the Extreme Pepper experience. And honestly, it creates a greater appreciation for this drink.
Yeah. And really with the effort that they've taken to preserve the history and the advertisement and everything, I am so thankful that they've done it, because without them, I don't know if this stuff, many of the things that are in that collection would even be around still today.
Yeah. And then, of course, as part of the museum, the fantastic staff.
They've been awesome.
Have been absolutely phenomenal.
Above and beyond.
And we are lucky enough to have one of them with us today. So we're going to bring our good friend Mary onto the show.
Mary, come on down. You're the next contestant. Join the podcast.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Oh,
I know it's post-pandemic. We can actually sit in close proximity. So, well, again, thank you so much for everything you've done for us this weekend.
absolutely. It's our pleasure.
So, the first question: how do you enjoy your Dr. Pepper? Do you prefer fountain, can, bottle, IV drip?
Jelly bean.
I do work here, so I have to, practice moderation, right?
What is that
Or
word?
I know, or else, it would be bad. But I do usually prefer a diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Actually, our fountain makes a great diet Dr. Pepper as well as a regular Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
But my favorite way to have a Dr. Pepper is a Dr. Pepper float with vanilla ice cream.
And it's funny you should mention that, because Mr. Dr. Pepper teacher here, thanks to my Alabama pepper, brought 2 cans of vanilla float.
Nice.
And did we get cups?
Yes.
I'll go grab them.
Now, have you ever had Dr. Pepper vanilla float?
I haven't had this one, no.
Oh,
Not that I remember. We do a lot of taste testing in the back offices, but
So when I've been mentioning vanilla float, is this what you were thinking of when I told you that, like, I asked if you guys had vanilla float, and you're like, well, we can make the floats, but this.
right. No, I can't
So-
say that I have seen that specific can before. So
So I will allow you to open and pour yourself some. And just like we do with the experience, I would encourage you to smell it, let it kind of simmer. And we gave this to Joel last night for the first time. I gave him some too, and it was great.
okay. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really light.
Yeah, it's that soft, like vanilla foam flavor of like when you make a vanilla float or a root beer float type of thing, but the Dr. Pepper flavored. And that's what I love about this. It's just like, it's that aftertaste that just kind of sets in your mouth, and it's like, hey, let me hug your taste buds.
Well, and I love how we have so many different flavor variations. There's the cream soda, and then the cherry vanilla, and they all are just like a little bit different, and you can just appreciate them in a different way. So this is great. Yeah, I love it.
awesome.
So I'm going to join in
go
and
for
share
it.
some of this too, Josh. Would you
So
like some more?
how did you get involved with the museum?
So I've worked here a long time. I actually went to Baylor for museum studies, and a lot of our staff here are museum studies graduates. Something a lot of people don't know about the museum is that
Enjoy the rest.
is that we're a small local history museum. We're not a corporate museum. Everyone here is employed by a nonprofit, and so when you go to a museum studies program, that's usually the route people are going, right, is nonprofit work. And when I moved to Waco to go to Baylor, I really wanted to work at a place while I went to school that, where I could put the things I was learning into action immediately.
Okay.
And I always joked that they didn't have a job for me here when I applied. I just kind of bullied them into letting me work here because
You are going to hire me, and I'm going to drink your Dr. Pepper, and you're going to like it.
Well, I love pop culture. I love Americana. I just thought this was such a fun place. And, we don't have to take ourselves too seriously here. We get to have fun. We get to talk about such a fun subject. And, so I actually started working here in 2004.
Okay.
And so I have been here in some capacity through school and when I graduated. And I've worn a lot of different hats here. I worked in collections, where y'all got to go yesterday, and did that for a while. And then I really found my love of marketing and social media and also IT stuff. So I do all of that here now.
Okay. So given the time that you've been here, what has been your top 3 favorite moments or memories of the museum?
And you don't have to mention the podcast because we won't go into it. But we all know.
We all know.
That's right. Right now, today. It's been so fun to see the museum in downtown Waco change over the years, especially, with Magnolia opening in 2015. Everything's changed a lot. Yeah. So I know I'm going to leave some stuff out, but, we welcomed our 1 millionth visitor in 2010 or 11, I think it was.
It wasn't me.
And it was, we, did it upright. We had a celebration, but it was kind of small, and then in 2019, we welcomed our 2 millionth visitor. So we reached 2 million, a lot faster than we reached 1 million.
Yeah. And
so both of those times, I would say, just really seeing the growth and how many more people were here for our 2 millionth visitor celebration. It's just been awesome to see that.
Can I ask, can you guys keep me informed when you're getting close to 3 million? So I can kind of stand outside and just wait to come in and buy a ticket and be that 3 millionth person.
So Zach, I have to tell you that one of our board members, she is also a Dr. Pepper fanatic, and she has been told that she is not allowed to be here for those events and try to be our 2 millionth visitor or our 3 millionth visitor. So I feel like I might need to put you in the same boat as her.
I would take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
But it hurts.
I know.
Just drink your Dr. Pepper. You'll be fine.
And then it's the same, but in the similar vein, my probably third top moment is when we have gotten to announce the winners of our year supply of Dr. Pepper. So when we did our 2 millionth visitor, we gave away a year supply of Dr. Pepper to our 2 millionth visitor, and we did that in person. When she and her family came up to the desk. I just was rewatching the video we did of that the other day, and she was so excited. It was so fun. And then we got to do 2 year supplies this year, and just because of COVID and everything, we wanted to be able to do it for people who weren't specifically here also.
Yeah.
And so we gave away 2 year supplies, one to someone in our more local area and then someone out of our local area. And getting to call them and tell them that they won was super fun.
And one of the girls that was the winner is a part of our Pepper Pack family.
Yes, that was a totally coincidence. I love it.
Drawing a blank on the name right now.
Lauren,
that's right. So Lauren, I remember you posted that on Facebook, and I was so happy for you.
Yes,
but also
very
not jealous at all.
Just a lot. I was like, I want so much Dr. Pepper. But it's okay.
So, we're really hoping to be able to deliver Lauren's Dr. Pepper to her in person. So that will be another fun adventure we get to go on.
That'll be fun. So how, since we're towards the tail end of the pandemic, I'm kind of curious, being a nonprofit, being a museum, how did you guys kind of work through all of that?
So for us, rely on the money that we get from our visitors coming through the door to stay open. I mean, that is just the way it
the
is.
nature of a nonprofit.
Yes, exactly. And especially as we are more of a tourist destination as opposed to a local museum. So, you know, people throughout the pandemic were still traveling. They were. And, you know, we were shut down. You know, we had our mandatory shutdown, but as soon as we were able to reopen in May, we took that opportunity and we did it.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if we were, we've grown so much over the last few years. We have so many staff, both full-time and part-time, and that those people, this is their livelihood, you know, and if we want to stay open and be able to keep our staff, we needed to go for it. And so we're really, really proud of the fact that, I mean, I feel like we've been a leader throughout the pandemic in COVID safety precautions, you know, with the health of our staff, you know, really going above and beyond with all of our policies and procedures. None of that's the fun stuff, but we did a lot of prep on that before we opened, and we've constantly been updating it and, you know, changing kind of as needed to keep everyone safe. And, you know, we were really proud that we didn't lose anyone, you know, employment wise.
That's awesome.
Everyone stayed employed through the shutdown, and then we've just continued to grow since then.
That's awesome.
So I was gonna say, for anyone watching, if you haven't, you can go on the Dr. Pepper Museum's website, and they have a gift shop. You can purchase things that continues to help support them. Josh and my wife kept joking all trip about putting me in a straitjacket and duct taping me so I don't buy things. But like, I'd be walking through the gift store multiple times yesterday, and I told my wife, I was like, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and she's like, we have a daughter, we got this to pay for. And she does it lovingly. And so I love you, baby. I'm not talking mean about you. But I'm just like, I know, but I want it. And I just like it. And it's so pretty. So you guys go in there and buy lots of stuff because it continues to help support them and keep them doing what they're doing. So I was going to ask you, Mary, you've seen lots of things. And where I'm positioned right now, I can see they have a new exhibit that's getting ready to open. That as part of the Extreme Pepper experience, we got to go back there and kind of see what's going on. I'm not going to give it away, but you guys are going to want to come and check it out. It's going to be awesome. Do you have a item in this building that is like your favorite item to show people or talk about? Or maybe, I guess that could be in any building.
Well, it's funny because, you know, we do change things out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that is something our exhibits team is constantly working on. The exhibit you were talking about, kind of alluding to, is one of our big exhibits that's going to be open for a year, but we do a lot of small exhibit change outs. But one of the places where we get to do a lot of fun things is our Treasures of the Dr. Pepper Museum exhibit in the other building. And that is located so both of our buildings are historic, and the Treasures exhibit is located in the vault in the other building.
Okay, yes.
And so we really made that more of a fine art gallery space where we can highlight some of our most valuable and treasured objects. And recently we received a very large Schweppes Art Deco print.
It's almost like a tapestry or tapestry, whatever the word is.
And it's funny because it has been hanging in the corporate offices for years. And my coworker and I, who both have been here a really long time, we always joke that we go visit the Schweppes lady when we go to corporate, and, you know, to see her, and we love her. And we hope one day that she gets to come, you know, live at the museum. And so when she finally did come, we were both like, well, she's got to go up on exhibit. Of course.
It was just meant to be.
Yes. So
you guys have found a perfect spot for it too in that room.
I know.
It feels so like secretive and dark, and you're just like, I'm going through a cave. I'm looking for like the hidden treasure at the end of like an Indiana Jones movie, and then there it is.
That's right. Front and center.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping a Batmobile would have been in there, but
They wanted valuable things, Josh.
We had some go-karts, not quite the Batmobile, but
pedal cars.
Yep.
Yep. And if you guys were on our social media yesterday, you saw that Josh and I were having fun in a little
the miniature Dr. Pepper delivery truck.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, which funny enough is just right over there off
It is.
camera. Yeah, that was fun. I liked seeing the Kiss guitar.
The little kiss.
Yes.
The kiss of cherry.
Right. So we have
Yes.
the guitar from the Dr. Pepper commercial where there's Kiss and then there's Mini Kiss.
Yeah.
And so we have those instruments from that too.
And the what was it? The drink that is it? Dave Naughton from the I'm a Pepper.
Yeah,
Yes.
the original bottle that he used in the videoing
commercial.
of that commercial. You guys still have that? And
Yes, that's really cool because it's actually a little bit of a bigger bottle and it's filled with liquid. It's not Dr. Pepper, but it's liquid that is colored, but it's colored to be a little bit lighter than Dr. Pepper. And both of those are to give a better effect on camera.
Yeah.
So in the commercial, it looked, nicer.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny, and we were telling Mason this yesterday. It's because of that commercial that this podcast became a thing.
Yeah.
Because we had the idea of doing a Zoom lip sync version.
we wanted to recreate. I wanted to recreate the I'm a Pepper song, and I wanted to video like a bunch of the different Pepperback ambassadors singing the song.
I gotcha.
And
Okay.
then make a compilation or whatever.
And it was on that same call talking about that the podcast idea came up.
Okay.
So there's a direct correlation with that particular event
Ads.
and this.
So has that been happened yet?
Well, we created it. We had one of our members edit it together. We probably could do it better, but with all of us on Zoom calls at different times
Sure.
and the different lag and everything. But yeah, we have that on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, we'll
I think
share
Taylor worked on our editing, so I can get that from her again. We can share that.
Okay.
that. Yeah.
But my
But that has
daughter,
been-
yeah. So I played that song. I shared this before. I played that song like 100 times to find the lyrics because I've looked everywhere online. I cannot find the lyrics to that one. So I just sat there and wrote them down and listened to it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And so playing it in my house, my wife has it stuck in her head. She'll hear part of it and she'll just start singing in the kitchen. And my daughter goes, "Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?" And so my daughter goes, "Peppa, I'm a Peppa." He's
Of
a
course.
Peppa. So
Of course, yes. Those of us as small kids know that is what their mind will immediately go to.
oh yes,
I mean, your daughter has not had any influence at all.
I just potato.
They always do. You can't get away from it.
Yeah. Well, this has been absolutely
Yes.
fantastic, and we appreciate you and coming onto the show, talk about the
Absolutely.
museum, and for everyone watching. Again, please, if you have the opportunity to come to Waco, you need to come to the museum. Come here first, spend all of your money, and then go to the other place and just walk around.
Yes, well, we are located downtown, so it's easy walking distance to all the other places
Yes.
that are around here. Lots to see and do within walking
Yeah.
distance.
And when you walk through the museum, you'll actually see a lot of the things that we've even talked about on the show. Even before we walked in, there is the thirst aid station.
Yes.
And on the back wall in the thirst aid station, it says, "Shoot me a Waco." And if you guys remember from episode one
I think it's 1 or 2. Yeah.
or two, where we talk about that was what was said when people would come in, and instead of saying, "Hey, can I get a Dr. Pepper?" they'd say, "Shoot me a Waco."
But they don't think they had a name, Dr. Pepper, yet.
Yeah,
at that
they had
time.
a name,
So
right.
it's just the Waco because that's just where it was created.
Yeah.
It's where it all started.
So to be able to actually see that history that we've talked about here on the show, put up in different places in the museum, was kind of fun. So if you guys come here, go through the museum, tell us where in the museum all the different Dr. Pepper teacher history facts are in the museum.
It was fun because we'd be walking through and they'd say something and I look at Josh. He's like, "Yep, I remember that."
Yep. Oh, yep. We talked
I
about
was like,
that.
"Okay, good. I passed the test. I did." Now, the one thing I will say that I got corrected on is when we shared with where Dr. Pepper got the name from. I think I mentioned that from what I understood, it was named after Alderton named it after a lady back in the East Coast that he was
in Virginia.
in Virginia.
That has,
Been disproven, I believe.
yes. So it was very interesting to
Yeah,
to
it is the
hear
most
that from
popular.
Mason.
Yeah, it is the most popular story that we hear, and that's kind of out there. But we do not think that is
Yeah.
the actual origin of the name, and that's one of the fun mysteries about Dr. Pepper, including what the 23 flavors are, is we just don't know.
Yeah.
It's 23 delicious flavors. A little bit of heaven in every drop. Makes my hair stand up. But I wanted to make sure that I corrected myself on camera because you know what? I sometimes get things wrong, and I wanted to
But in your defense, Mr. Alderton told a lot of stories. He was a great storyteller in that respect. And so I don't blame you. I don't even blame him.
Things have gotten a little out of hand, over the years.
Yeah,
just with
as you said, that's what makes Dr. Pepper and the mystery even better. So,
definitely.
Awesome. Well, all I'm going to say is this has been fantastic. I'm excited for the next year. And I don't know, we may just have to come back here for year 2 and spend more time.
Please do.
I hope so.
We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Well, as always, make sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at PepperPackPod. Make sure to also follow the Dr. Pepper Museum at Dr. Pepper Museum.
Yep.
Make sure to check out the website. Again, the link to the website is in the description. And if you're in Waco, as always, come to the museum. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you can do over and over again.
And I want to point out that to come to the museum, if you want to come more often, you don't have to pay admission to go to the gift shop and soda fountain. So if you just want to come grab a Dr. Pepper float, you can do that anytime you want to.
And those are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So I may have to get one before I leave.
Yeah, I think so.
If you are in the Waco area from 12 to 3 today, we are going to be hanging out in the courtyard.
Yep.
And around the gift shop area. So if you want to come by, support the museum, hang out, meet us, we would love to see you. So come on by. And if you're not in the Waco area, just drive really fast.
Awesome. Well, we will wrap it up for this episode. And we may have to take a week or so off just to decompress. And it's been a crazy weekend. So
we'll be back on a regular scheduled program event sometime.
Yeah, starting next month.
Yep.
So that's going to be it for this episode. Again, check out the Dr. Pepper Museum. And, well, I'm going to hand it off to Zach for this one.
Well, friends, family, Dr. Pepper drinkers, and people that are watching that don't like Dr. Pepper, we still love you, but you should be drinking Dr. Pepper. We thank you for joining us. This has been a blast. I've had a lot of fun this year, and I can't wait for what we got planned for next year because I don't know what it is. So until we can drink again, we'll see you guys later.